My name is Danielle Kuffner, and I am Executive Assistant to Paul J. Hill. My main responsibilities, well, it certainly varies from day to day, but taking care of Paul and Carol, first of all, and running most of Paul's administrative stuff, keeping his itinerary, making sure that we don't have meetings that cross over each other, a lot of organizing of different events that they put on or they participate in, keeping all of their financial records with the help of the accounting team, but just day-to-day stuff that keeps everybody where they're supposed to be on time, hopefully. I started at Harvard on December 20th, 2010. It was a very cold day. Carol remembers me coming into her condo with my big woolly winter boots on and a big pink scarf. To this day she remembers that. So I have worked for the Hill Companies for almost 8 years. The favorite parts of my job are certainly the different relationships that I get to make with people inside and outside of the company. I get to meet or talk to lots of different cool people, some high-level people sometimes, but honestly the most favorite part of my job is just working with the employees here at Harvard and working with the Hill family. It's a great family to work for. So you wanted to know what the most fun or bizarre things were, and my answer for the bizarre was I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you. But the fun things, I think my most memorable moment of doing something fun that involved the company was hosting the Canadian Tenors personally, and we got to have a little intimate glass of wine with them and their families. I got to meet their kids. One of them, I happened to mention that I was a big Phantom of the Opera fan, and he broke out into Music of the Night and literally brought me to tears. I think some of the misconceptions that perhaps people have about me is because I have been here for a number of years, is that I have the answers to everything and know what Paul is thinking, and I just don't. I always need to consult with him. Some qualities that I think are essential for me performing my job. Well, I'm an only child and I'm a Capricorn, so those two right there always make sure that I'm well organized, I guess. My most favorite memory, and Paul probably won't be happy with me sharing this, but my most favorite memory is when they had a surprise birthday, impromptu birthday dinner for me, and it was just supposed to be us girls, and Paul, halfway through dinner, burst into the front door of the restaurant singing at the top of his lungs, "Happy birthday" to me, and again, I ended up crying because I was very touched. What is Paul really like? Well, I would have to say that what you see is what you get. What everybody sees in front of a podium is really what he's like in person. He's very political, he loves history, but maybe what people don't see is just how caring he can be. We were at an event last year and we lost Carol. She just happened to be in a different space. It was a large space. When we did finally find her, it was probably one of the most genuine, loving hugs I've ever seen in my life. And I guess that just goes to show you why they've been married for 55 plus years. My hobbies, I guess, are pretty diverse when you look at what ends of the spectrum. I went to Thailand and trained and fought Muay Thai. I have been a dancer for 29 years and taught ballet and tap and jazz, and tap is my favorite. But you know, as far as my own hobbies, I guess I stick to the gym. I'm in the gym quite often during the week, running my boys around, although they're getting older now. I now have a 16-year-old and an almost 11-year-old, and so the dynamics of our family are changing as they get older and can drive and have their own vehicles. I absolutely adore camping during the summer. We have a permanent spot with our trailer, and if I'm not in the city doing yard work or at the gym, I'm usually at the trailer. I also have a horror movie obsession. Started when I was a little girl. My mother and I used to watch horror movies together, and as I got older I ended up working for Blockbuster Video now I'm dating myself, and also a theater, and sort of grew my horror movie obsession. I was coincidentally married on a Friday the 13th, and our oldest son was born 22 years to the day of the very first Friday the 13th movie being released. And as such, his name is Jace. My husband wouldn't agree to Jason, so we met in the middle, and it's Jace. So even though I do have a horror movie obsession, I certainly still like to be girly, and I have a rather large high heel collection too. Too many, probably. So many that we had to build a separate closet for the high heels. So I'm at Heavy Gym. This is my home away from home. This is my semi-private gym that I come to 3 days a week. I work out with Tony Burko, as well as a bunch of amazing people. It really pushes you. He makes us do crazy stuff, but he's always right there, unfortunately counting our reps so we can't cheat, but he also makes sure that we're staying safe. I guess the reason that I started to get into the gym was after the birth of my last son. He's now turning 11. I was really out of shape. He was nursing a lot, so I wasn't really getting anywhere, and I just decided to try fighting. With a dance background, I had the balance, and even though my mother was mortified because I was always a ballerina, the first time I put on a pair of boxing gloves, I had a natural ability, I guess, because of my balance and my speed. And I came home that night with bloody knuckles and I could hardly breathe, and my husband said, "How was it?" And I said, "I'm never looking back." And that was 10 years ago. If anybody wants to have a little bench press challenge, I'd be willing to take that on.